This week, we will look at some new coaching changes happening for the Mountaineers. Who helped the Mountaineer wrestling team remain undefeated in conference? And we will discuss how the men's basketball season has been shaping up. All this and more coming to you now. Welcome back to the A-Game. I'm Noah C. Cornelius alongside Eric Fisher and new host Carson Williams. How are y'all doing today?
Doing all right.
Yeah, doing good. Excited to talk about these great games App State had recently.
That's what's up. So guys, what was your reaction to the close win over Georgia Southern on the basketball game Thursday?
Well, it was a great game. I loved watching it. Got a little close at the end. I got really scared for a second, but we pulled in there and made a really good defensive stops. Played as a team is what I was really impressed with. We had 4 guys in double digits. So, yeah, I was really impressed. I'm glad we pulled it out.
Yeah, 2 guys you mentioned, James Lewis, Adrian Delph, Donovan Gregory, and Michael Almonacci. It feels like it's been like, especially the last 3 I named, Delph, Gregory, and Almonacci. I'm not saying they've carried the team. I feel like I said it almost every episode. But, like, they are the main guys, and we know that. They're the leaders of this team. They're putting the foundation. And, I mean, Delph, 38 minutes last night. Almonacci, 37, or Almonacci at 36 and Gregory at 37. So they're all just like pulling their weight, and I think this really shows this veteran group can push this team to get the win. And even in the games, I forget what home game it was a while ago, it was a couple weeks ago, they're up by 10, and these veteran players, they're still playing minutes, so it shows this group wants to win, and they have that good leadership, and that's really important for the team. Yeah,
4 players in double digits for the Mountaineers. That's Gregory, Almonacci, Delph, and James Lewis Jr. We talked about that in the press conference a little bit with Coach Kearns, and Coach Kearns talked about how well this team meshes together. To have 4 players in double digits, while they're not all scoring like 30 points a night, it's not the NBA.
Yeah.
But like double digits is double digits, and
exactly.
They all contributed on all areas of the floor. So to have 4 guys in double digits, I think that was the key to the game.
Yeah, it just shows the kind of depth this team has. I feel like we hit that point a lot, but it's true. It's a couple nights ago, C.J. Huntley had a great game. He was in double digits, and then Justin Forrest, he had a quiet night. He still played 29 minutes, but he had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 points. He can easily go out there, make great defensive stops that he's seen against Coastal, and get game-winning shots, big shots. He can put up 20 like a night too. He's capable of that. So it shows this team. I mean, it just depends on the night. It's like who's going to step up because it feels like someone always will.
Mm-hmm. All right, so looking at the basketball season as a whole, who would you say is your MVP?
Well, I would have to go with Michael Almonacci. And, you know, these big names, Adrian Delph and Donovan Gregory, they go out there, they do their thing every night. But Michael Almonacci is really just a leader for this team. And you could see it last night. He went out there and stayed composed when they came up, and he was talking to the guys. And he really just made sure that everybody knew their place, knew what they needed to do, and just kept them calm, so we could win that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Donovan Gregory. I mean, he's a great player, and he really has these big momentum swing plays. I feel like every night he's able to get that big dunk or just make the big turnover or force the big turnover. He's a good player in that sense, and that's really important to have in your team. And it's I feel like the 3 guys we're all gonna mention they just are leaders, and that's so important on this team because Gregory right now is averaging 12 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 2 assists. But he's still a big leader, and that shows that's how important that is, especially in college basketball. Like NBA, I feel like sometimes with team chemistry, you can just rely on individual scoring, but in college basketball, you can't rely on that. So I'd love to see that leadership that he's able to provide.
Y'all both brought up 2 great players, but we got to go with the main man, Adrian Delph, for my pick. Adrian Delph currently has 17.3 points on the season, 5.3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and is shooting over 40% from the field. Yeah, no, Adrian Delph, I'm not going to say he's the top dog because we just talked about how 4 players got double digits.
Yeah.
But he's the top dog. That man can ball. Literally, last year he averaged 13 points, and he's improved his points per game by 4 points to 17.3. I mean, his first season he averaged 7, and now he's averaging 10 more than that. So, Adrian Delph is the heart and soul of this team, but obviously 2 other great MVPs on the team as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a good team. It's a fun team to watch, too, and it's nice to see that the fans are supporting them as well. And also, I want to give a shout out to C.J. Huntley. I think he's been playing great basketball as of late, and he's not always getting like the major like recognition because he's not putting up great points, but he's still putting in a good effort and grinding, getting rebounds, getting tough buckets, and that's important for this team.
He does a lot of the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah,
hustle
definitely.
plays, diving on the ball.
Yeah.
Just really good defense. The team is just really, really complete.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now switching over to women's basketball, the team has lost 2 straight games since their hot streak came to an end. What do they need to do to overcome these losses?
I think you look to your leaders. You look to some of your top players. Alexa Alesh, we talk about her a lot in the highlights, and when there are highlights, I mean, she's always putting up good numbers and good player. But I think you just got to look at, you know, your veteran and your coach. And I feel like this is a moment. This is really where the coach's leadership comes in hand. You want to look to your players, but I think even the players, like you can't always rely on just one player to carry, like not carry, but like be the sole leader. Because like with the men's team, we just mentioned 3 guys that we all view as the leader differently. And the women's team, I think this is where a coach really steps up and shows like, hey, we have a great group of players here, and we know we can win, and we saw it with that win streak. And they're still over 500 in the Sun Belt. So it's not like the season's over. They can't have that mentality. And I still have faith in them to get back in the winning streak as well.
Right. Well, I don't think that they should be losing confidence at all. I mean, they were on a 5-game win streak before they lost these last 2. And it is disheartening to go on a win streak like that and then lose a couple.
Yeah.
But in every game they've been in, they've been close. I mean, I think there've been maybe 3 games that they haven't been close. So they're a really great team, and they have no reason to lose confidence. They just got to keep doing what they're doing.
The problem with the problem with college basketball in general is that there aren't 82 games in a season. So even though they're 11-10 and 4th in the Sun Belt, they don't have that many games left on the schedule.
Yeah.
So even though they had that 5-game win streak, that's really solid for a college basketball team. But when you lose 2 in a row, not terrible, but you know, you'd like to have those games won, you know. But obviously you just got to look at Michaela Porter. She's averaging 12.8 points on this season, and she also leads the team in rebounds with 6.1. Like you said, just look to your leaders. I think that this is not a bad team.
No,
you know, just because you lose 2 games doesn't mean that your season's over by any means. I mean, again, only 4th in the Sun Belt, probably will make the postseason, you know, and they could probably open some eyes in the postseason. But, you know, I think you just look at your leaders, like you said, and, you know, you just go out and play the game. So.
And you got to think about it. I mean, App State's not a big recruiting school in women's basketball or men's basketball.
Definitely.
And it just really shows that we're over 500. So it shows how we play as a team and how our coaches are getting our guys to step up. To have the level of success that we're having without being a really good recruiting school is really impressive.
Yeah, it just shows, I mean, with coaching, how they can develop players and still win and compete at this level. But like you said about the postseason, I mean, going in, you're going to make your conference tournament, like, so you have to compete in that. And I think a lot of basketball kind of depends on going into the postseason, just like what team's hot in March Madness. That's a major thing we see. Not always time the best team that you think consists in the nation is going to win. It's just who's hot. So I think if this team finds their stride going into March, they'll make a run. All
right, we have to take a short break, but stay with us because we will have more from Carson and Eric.
What's going on?
Up late.
What is that?
Sketch show.
Oh boy, when does it air?
Sunday night.
What time?
9 p.m.
Thanks.
It's time for Sports Wrap on 90.5 WASU FM.
Unpredictable NC State can be on a
That is true. I feel like they do have one of these games in this part of the season every year. I'm not going to get into a big discussion about expanding it. I definitely think it should be maybe capped at 8 teams, maybe 6.
Because 228 yards on the ground as compared to a total of 55 for Coastal Carolina. I count one team of the 6 games that they have played this year that was in the playoffs last year.
To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
Wow!
A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Welcome back to the A-Game. I'm your host, Noah C. Cornelius. App State Wrestling has been a dominant force in the SoCon this year. Guys, what have y'all's reaction been to this dominance?
Well, it's really good because it's putting App State on the map. Because there are a lot of wrestler fans out there, not as much as basketball or football or baseball, of course, but there are a lot, and now they're all looking at App State. But, I mean, it is absolutely incredible what these guys have been able to do. I mean, 5 App State wrestlers claimed the individual SoCon titles, and that ties the program record. And while they've all been great, I want to talk about Jonathan Milner. He's top 4 in his weight class, and his personal goal is to win it all for App State, which is great. He's a 2-time Southern Conference champion, 2-time NCAA qualifier, and he's undefeated in conference play. This guy is incredible. One of the best guys I have seen in wrestling in college.
Yeah, and kind of like what you touched on earlier about like recruitment and stuff, like, and you just said about like putting them on the map. This is a big deal for like, because I feel like always on App State, we even talked about it in here. We are a football school. It's kind of like that's like how it's known, especially in the state. I have friends that go to other schools within the state from high school and stuff, and they always think like, oh, App State just football. That's really it. They don't really pay attention to us in any other sport. But Milner really putting us on the map, and then the rest of the program as well. And I mean, this weekend, the SoCon regular season title is on the line on Sunday, which, well, at the time, this will come out on Monday, but we're filming it before then.
Right.
So that's like that is a big deal, and this is just for the App State sports, and you really want to see like the student body support them and just have success. So it'd just be an awesome moment for the program to really, reach this level of achievement.
Guys, full transparency, I've never watched wrestling, and I usually don't go to wrestling events. But looking at the stats right here, this is impressive. For someone like me who doesn't even really understand the stats, I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, these cats are really good. I mean, November 14th, Mountaineer Invitational, they had 6 finalists. January 29th, Appalachian Open, 1 champ, 4 finalists. Chattanooga, I think that was the match in which they came back from like all the way from behind. These guys can wrestle. That's all I want to say. I wish I could add more to it, but like if you look at the stats yourself and you go online and see how good these guys are doing, I mean, all credit to them. They're killing it this year.
They are top tier in what they do, which is like, I mean, that's the best you can ask for. Like, obviously, I don't think all of us are like wrestling experts. I know I'm not.
I'm not.
Yeah, but like, I mean, but like, this shows how good they are. That we know they are one of the best at what they're doing. So that's awesome for the program and for them as well.
And the impact this is going to have on the school. I mean, it's not just about wrestling. This is gonna put basketball on the map, football, just the school as a whole.
Yeah.
It's gonna gain so much attraction, especially if we win this next game.
Definitely.
All right, on to America's greatest pastime. The baseball team announced the signing of Dante Chirico from Northwest Florida State College. What do you guys think of the signing?
I think it's a great signing. Always adding a right-handed pitcher to your bullpen is fantastic and really helpful for the team. And he averaged 11.41 strikeouts per game at Northwest Florida State College, which, I mean, he's a JUCO transfer, but that is like, I mean, I don't know if you guys
insane.
It is. That is wild. Like,
that is incredible.
You don't hear those numbers in college baseball. Like, I feel like the only team, like, that you hear that is with, like, Ole Miss, who is a top-tier, or, like, Vanderbilt.
Right.
Like, those are 2 of the best consistent schools at baseball, and now you have, like, NC State up there as well. But to get that prospect, I mean, obviously, at JUCO, you're not playing the best in college baseball, but you're still playing really talented players as well. It's not like they're bad at all.
Right.
And now he's coming to App State, and I mean, this team we talked about it 2 episodes ago. They're not the best in the state or like in the conference, but this could be a huge turnaround and getting that new mentality. And this guy's a winner, and he had a 2-0 conference record with that average that we just talked about. Is insane.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, he is not just a one-dimensional player either. He's got a .263 batting average, which isn't great, but it is average for college level.
Yeah, for a pitcher too.
And he's a leader, which is really good. He led his college to their respective championship game, and even though it's JUCO, it's still impressive just to be there because all college ball is competitive.
Yeah,
it's really impressive what he's doing, and I'm super glad to have him on the team.
Well, I'm pulling out the thesaurus for this one. I think this is what we would call a blue chip prospect. I sound pretty smart saying that, but no. Yeah, 11 strikeouts per game. That is just insane. I mean, holy cow. I don't really know the whole Mountaineer baseball team on a personal level, but I know that we're a solid team. So having this addition to the team, I think it's going to be great for this season.
Yeah, and he held an ERA of 2.51 in conference action too, which is really impressive because in baseball you always play the series as well, and in conference play you're going to see those teams a lot. So to already show he can hold those numbers at a consistent level in conference play, and if he can do it up here for the Mountaineers, I mean that's going to be so valuable going into that spring season.
Now switching gears back to football, the Mountaineers announced the offensive coordinator, Frank Ponce, is leaving the team to go to Miami. We'll talk about this more later on in the show, but for now, who do you guys think should fill this void?
Well, first off, I want to say congratulations to Frank Ponce. He was great for us, 34.5 points per game. Just incredible. Big love to him. But I would say Rashad Samples from SMU, he just has an amazing track record. He would be great, and we're a mainly running back team. But his freshman running back Ulysses Bentley IV set multiple records for the team. 11 touchdowns in 10 games. His touchdowns ranked 17th nationally as a freshman. Freshman All-American honors. I mean, the list just goes on and on. This guy is incredible, and I think he would be great for App State.
Yeah, I'm going to look more at like the passing game and quarterback position specifically. So I want to look at Ben Arbuckle, the co-offense corner and quarterback coach for Western Kentucky. Obviously, we're sadly pretty familiar with Western Kentucky after we got just not destroyed, but offensively, they just like played an exceptional game. Their quarterback, I mean, he broke Joe Burrow's record. He played an incredible game, but I think this would really help App State really develop their offense and just have a more dynamic pass game because I feel like sometimes we really struggle in having a creative pass game sometimes. And it just feels like to do the simple things in the passing game, we really struggle. Like sometimes it feels with like slants, we're just off timing and simple things like that we can't hit. And a lot of I feel like on offense, especially in the passing game, we just throw 50-50 passes. And it's like a prayer. It's like, all right, Sutton, let's see if you can go get this. Malik Williams, just run as fast as you can. And you have to do this sometimes in offense. I know that, obviously. I'm not saying that. But it would be really valuable to have more creative play calling in that sense. I don't know how much, as coming in as a new offense coordinator, how much control he will have over the play calling, but I think that would be really valuable for the team especially. And also just helping out the run game. I think our run game doesn't need much change, and I don't think it will. Because Nate Noel, he's still a fantastic running back. But yeah, I think helping, I'm pretty sure Chase Bryce is still returning. So helping him out and just having him step to that next level, we could have a dynamic offense next year.
It's funny you talked about WKU because I am going with Zach Kitley. You know, he was with WKU, but now I think he's with the Texas Red Raiders, if I'm reading this correctly. Either way, that's two offensively powerful teams. Chase Bryce is a gunslinger. If he has the right system around him and they're calling the right play calls, they won't have to throw up those 50-50 balls like you were talking about.
Yeah.
The guys will be down the field, and they'll call the right plays, and Chase Bryce will know exactly where to throw that ball. We have a high-powered offense. We got some great wide receiving prospects and proven players. I think if we get the right OC, we can make that happen.
Yeah, also, I just think, too, looking at this team, I think we have such, like, valuable talent. You really just don't want to waste it. And, like, the dream is for us, I know they're doing a big search, and they could possibly go internally. Personally, I don't really want that. I want a different perspective. I want them to really, like, getting this guy from a Power 5 would be a dream, but also looking at, like, Division II, like a school like North Dakota State, like getting a head coach like that, if he wants to come up to an upcoming team like App State, that'd be helpful. But if you can get, like, a quarterback coach from a solid Power 5 team, that would be the dream. I don't know if that'll happen, but that's kind of like, I would say, the top tier, #1 ideal candidate for us.
Well, hey, here's hoping that our OC candidates happen. Anyways, a big thank you to Carson for joining the show this week. And after the break, more on the departure of Frank Ponce and who are the new 2 assistant coaches for the soccer team.
Connected Cultures is back for spring 2022.
We'll be talking to you about Mexico, South Africa, the Netherlands, and so much more.
You can watch us every Friday at 10 a.m.
Either online at watchapptv.com or on campus on channel 23.3. Bye.
Hi, neighbor.
I'm Ryan Perone.
And I'm Elena Jones.
Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. as we explore the events, organizations, and people that make the High Country so special.
You can tune in on Channel 198 for Spectrum customers, Channel 20 or 1020 for SkyBest customers, or Channel 23-3 on campus.
Also, make sure to follow us at Instagram at hi_neighborapptv for up-to-date coverage of events happening and student-made content. Until then,
bye neighbor.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Welcome back to the A-Game. I'm your host, Noah C. Cornelius, alongside Eric Fisher. Let's take a look at App State's major win over conference rivals Georgia Southern. First off, we got Michael Almonacci with the direct shot, adding 2 points to the board. And then Almonacci stayed strong with the fake out and a center pass to guard Adrian Delph. Michael Almonacci once again, 3-point shot from the perimeter. 4 Mountaineers scored points in double digits. And then Delph comes in again, clutch after a close shot by forward Donovan Gregory. Almonacci is really leading the offensive line here again with a beautiful shot recovered and scored by forward James Lewis. And then Lewis here again with an assist to Delph to add 3 more points to the board. And next we have a near-perfect steal from Justin Forrest as he continues down the court in time to alley-oop it to Gregory for a nice slam. The Mountaineers beat the Eagles 65-61 to stay at the top of the Sun Belt Conference.
The Appalachian State Athletic Department announced late last week that offensive coordinator Frank Pons has been hired to be the new quarterback coach at the University of Miami. Pons coached at App from 2013 to 2018 before leaving to Louisville, then finally coming back to the High Country for the 2021 season. Pons helped lead the App State offense during the 2021 season, ranking 22nd in the country and averaging 34.5 points per game. Coach Pons has a great track record with coaching quarterbacks at the FBS level. He coached former App State quarterback Zach Thomas, who earned Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year in 2018. He also coached current App State quarterback Chase Bryce, who now holds the school record for most single-season passing yards. At Louisville, Pons coached Malik Cunningham, who set the school record for passing efficiency. He will now have Tyler Van Dyke to work with, who has already proven to be a solid quarterback for the Hurricanes. Assistant head coach Justin Watts will serve as interim offensive coordinator for the team.
Head women's soccer coach Amy Haywood has announced the addition of 2 new assistant coaches ahead of her inaugural season at the helm of the Mountaineers. Mark Catterall and Michaela Krasowski are the 2 new additions coming from Queen's University in Charlotte, where Haywood previously coached. Mark Catterall coached at Queen's University for the past 5 seasons, helping the team achieve 5 straight winning seasons. Catterall has an extensive collegiate coaching resume, including multiple winning seasons at St. Edward's University and the University of Bridgeport. Catterall also helped bring these teams to the NCAA tournament multiple times, with St. Edward's making it to the Sweet 16 in one of those appearances. Catterall played collegiately at Bagnor University in Wales, where he helped the team make 2 appearances in the Welsh University National Cup final. Coach Michaela Krasowski also comes from Queens University, where she served as the goalkeepers coach, where the team only allowed 12 goals in 22 matches. Krasowski played collegiately at South Carolina, where she recorded 50 clean sheets in her career, third most in NCAA women's history and the most in SEC history. After graduating from USC, she played professionally in Tokyo for the 2021 season before landing at Queens. I know I'm excited to see what these coaches are able to do for the program. After the break, we'll see what Sean Clark had to say about spring practice, and we will look at a big win App State Wrestling had over Chattanooga.
Do you like video game news and entertainment? Well, App TV's original gaming news channel Pixel Peak is back for our 8th season. Every other week we discuss news stories, give a game review, display gameplay, and more. Be sure to check out our new season bi-weekly on Thursdays at 3 on watchapptv.com, SkyBest Channel 20 and 1020, Spectrum Channel 198, or on App State's Campus Television Channel 23.3. Thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you next time on Pixel Peak.
Broadcasting from the Wayne L. Sumner studio in the George G. Beasley Media Complex. Still crazy after all these years. 90.5 WASU, the App FM.
Welcome back to a brand new season of the Morning App every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Check it out on 90.5 WASU FM, WASUradio.com, WatchAppTV.com, WatchAppTV on Facebook and YouTube, SkyBest Channels 20 and 1020, Charter Channel 198, and Campus Channel 23.3. See you there.
Welcome back to a brand new season of Can't Think Straight. I'm Harriet.
And I'm Nate. Come join us Fridays at 9 p.m. for comedy and queer-oriented content.
You can tune in on watchapptv.com or any of these channels below.
Also, check out our Instagram at Can't Think Straight App TV. Can't wait to see you there.
Bye.
This spring, look toward App Avenue on App TV to see a new legacy be written on random days of the week. No, seriously, this show will literally be airing any day of the week, so stay glued to those screens. We'll see you out there.
Welcome back to the A-Game. I'm Eric Fisher alongside Noah C. Cornelius. The Mountaineer football team has started their spring practices. A little snow in the field did not prevent the team from getting out and enjoying the beautiful, cold weather Boone has. Let's take a look at what head coach Sean Clark had to say about their first day.
We're like we are the first week of practice, 3 days in. We're a fifth of the way done, and a lot of young guys are stepping up, which is good to see. And that was our goal going to spring camp, is our spring practice to work on our fundamentals and technique. But really excited to see some of these young guys get a chance to play and make us plays now.
Sean Clark is entering his third season as the head coach of the Mountaineers, where he is returning 18 total starters for the upcoming 2022 season. It will be interesting to see what new names start to pop out during these spring practices over the next month, and ahead of the season opener against UNC September 3rd.
The wrestling team won a thriller last week against Chattanooga to stay undefeated in the conference. The Mountaineers had to overcome a lot of obstacles during the meet, with a lot of close decisions falling in favor of Chattanooga. With the teams tied heading into the final match, App State's own Michael Burchell had to not only win the match but win a bonus point as well. Let's take a look at the final moments of the match.
Came back and won the next three with Gagne, Milner, and Bond.
And that's exactly what Chattanooga had to avoid. That's a lot of trouble there. 45 seconds is a long time. And there it is.
Coach John Mark Bentley and Burchell had this to say after the meet.
It wasn't pretty today. I'm proud of our guys for getting it done. I think everything that could go wrong did go wrong in that duel. But sometimes that's what, winning championships is about. You got to find ways to win ugly. And, I thought there was a lot of gritty performances today. Some guys stepped up and, kind of made up for some of the bad that we had going for us. It just, the whole match kind of felt like the momentum was going against us. But we had several guys really step up big, and I couldn't be more proud of Mike Burchell. With the team depending on him, going out there putting the team on his back, and getting the fall, which kind of gave us the victory today. So
definitely, I knew it was at stake, and I knew what I had to do, and it was definitely a lot of pressure on me. But I've gotten used to it throughout the years, and it felt good to put the match away and get a win for the team.
This win moves the Mountaineers to 6-2 overall and undefeated in the conference. Their match against Campbell will decide who wins the SoCon title.
Okay, well that's all the time we have for you this week. I'm Eric Fisher.
And I'm Noah C. Cornelius. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The A Game Sports. And we will see you next week on The A Game.